Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today this episode comes at you on Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there and all their families, and from my family to yours, gobble gobble. With that being said, it is Thursday night football, but it's not only Thursday night football, it's Thursday afternoon football, it's Thursday midday football, it's football when food is just now starting, when you're ready to eat that pie and taking a nap at 4:30, and then when you're gonna go sneak in and get another piece of pie because you said, you know what, you're gonna go full gobble gobble on this Thanksgiving. 8:20 p.m. rolls around and you've got your final last game that you're probably gonna sleep through anyways, but hey, you at least can start some of it. So we always get 3 Thanksgiving games, and the one team that always, and I mean always, plays on Thanksgiving is the Detroit Lions, and that's the first game that we have at 12:30. But before we get into the Lions, and the second game, and the third game, and then followed by a Black Friday game like we had last year, and then moving on to Sunday, and then Monday. Is there a Tuesday game? Or not yet? Nope, no Tuesday game yet, guys. No Tuesday game yet. But I gotta tell you guys how we all did from last week. So last week, Beagle and myself both went 8-5, but Nicholas was the winner last week, going 10-3. So top dog to him. Congratulations, man. You are pulling one step closer, and we will see how the rankings go and continue to move on as we're now in week 13, Thanksgiving football. Who can be on the winner? Who can eat the most turkey? Who can get the most stuffed this Thanksgiving? Well, to start out at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow, on Thursday, it is the Chicago Bears playing the Detroit Lions. Now, the Bears not playing too well this year. At one point, they were a playoff team. They were sitting in that 7th seed position. But they are 4-7 now, and the Detroit Lions do have the best record in the NFL at 10-1, tied with the Chiefs. Can the Lions keep it going? It is a home game for them. You know, Montgomery, Gibbs, every time they score and St. Brown score, they've been winning. Like I said, they've only lost one game. They're the hottest team in the NFL right now. Can they keep it alive and beat the Bears, which is an NFC North showdown, which is a divisional game, which really will matter at the end of the day, because the Packers are on their heels as well. For me here personally, I'm going the Lions, and I think the Lions get this done because they're the best team in football, and if they're going to be the best team in football and clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC, they have to win their division, and they have to win these divisional games. So give me the Lions to start out on this Thanksgiving football. Gobble, gobble. But Nick also thinks the Lions. Beagle hasn't given me his picks yet, but if I had to guess, I know he's probably going to say the Bears. So there's everybody's first pick to start Thanksgiving football. Then at 4:30, like I said, when you're going in and getting a pie and probably falling asleep during this game, is the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, you can fall asleep during this game because this is a snooze fest of a game. Honestly, if they could have, they should have switched this game because this is the worst Thursday night football game, Thursday afternoon game I've ever seen probably in history of Thursday Thanksgiving football. It's the Giants versus the Cowboys. Honestly, it's a coin flip. It could be anybody's game. But honestly, since it's at home for the Cowboys, give me the Cowboys. I don't feel great about picking either of these teams. And I don't want to say it, but it's popped in my head, so I have to say it. Will we get our first tie of the season because of this game right here? I don't know, but let's hope not. Nick's going the Cowboys as well. Then at 8:20, when, like I said, you're going back and sneaking another piece of pie because you want to eat all the food you possibly can, and one more piece of pie won't hurt. You're going with the Dolphins versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, this will be probably the best game of Thursday night football, I think, for Thanksgiving, as the Dolphins are playing in the Green Bay Packers Stadium. It's going to be cold. I don't know what the temperature is going to be, but I know it's going to be cold, and the Dolphins are not used to playing in the cold. So you're giving the advantage to Green Bay, and I think it stays with Green Bay for the advantage, and I do think that they get this win, but I think they only get this win by 3 to 10 points. I think that's going to be either they win by 3 or they win by 10. So give me the Packers. Nick also thinks the Packers. So far we're 3 for 3. But that will wrap up Thursday night football. It'll wrap up Thanksgiving football. And gobble gobble our way onto Friday, which is Black Friday, at 3 o'clock. It's going to be the Las Vegas Raiders playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Chiefs barely squeaked out and beat the Panthers last week, who arguably are the worst team in football as of right now. So for them to just barely squeak by, now you're playing a AFC West divisional opponent. How will that go? Will the Chiefs be able to get this done? I think they will. I think they move on to 11-1. You really don't have anything to worry about. It may be close in the first half because, people are full from Thanksgiving and whatnot. But other than that, I do see the Chiefs winning this game pretty easily. Nick thinks the Chiefs win this game as well. So now we're done with the Thursday football. We're done with our Black Friday shopping. Now we move on to Sunday when you've done your Black Friday shopping and you're like, you know what? We're back to regular football. And at 1 o'clock, it's AFC South Showdown. It's the Houston Texans versus Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the Texans should be able to take care of business, and they probably will win the AFC South if things keep going their way. But they've got to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I think that they will because the Jaguars are a dumpster fire this year. So give me the Texans on the road. Nick thinks the Texans as well, which rightfully so. Does make a lot of sense. Then Sunday, the next game at 1 o'clock, is the Colts versus the Patriots. Now, this is a big rivalry game in the fact that when Tom Brady, Peyton Manning was there, and even a little bit afterwards, but it's not really so much now because both these teams suck this year. Let's see the Colts record. 5-7, boo. And the Patriots 3-9. Don't really know how this is going to go too well, but I do see the Colts winning this out, even though it'll be in the cold up in Foxborough. Give me the Colts on the road. Nick is going with the Colts as well. So far, we have picked every single pick the same, and that kind of scares me just a little bit. Then on Sunday at 1 o'clock, you've got the Los Angeles Chargers coming off a loss to the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football, and they are playing the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Falcons are 6-5, the Chargers are 7-4. This should be a good matchup, but an injury to the Chargers is J.K. Dobbins will not play against the Falcons due to any knee injury. How much does this affect him? I think it affects him enough where the Falcons get this win because of the Dobbins injury. And now I think if J.K. was playing, I would have went with the Chargers, but since he's out, I'm going with the Falcons. Nicholas is also going with the Falcons. Once again, this scares the hell out of me. But we move on to the next 1 o'clock game, and we've got Seahawks versus the Jets. Now, I'm going with Seahawks here because the Jets are just hard to watch. I don't know where Aaron Rodgers is going to play in 2025. Will it be with the Jets? Will it be playing football at all? There's a lot of questions in the Jets organization. But what I do know for sure is that the Seahawks are going to win this game. Nick is also going to Seahawks. So there is another game that we have decided that we both think the Seahawks are going to win. Then you've got the Titans and Commanders. Now, the Titans somehow, some way beat the Texans last week, which wasn't good for the Texans as they want to win this division. They got to beat the Jets or the Jaguars. So they need to get back on track and do that. Sorry, guys. A little tight here as it's 9:12 p.m. as I'm filming this video Wednesday night. And I got to get up early in the morning. So, got to get ready to eat as much turkey as possible. So, got to get some sleep. Gobble, gobble. But given the Commanders at home, they should be able to get this win. Both these teams, okay, so the Commanders lost to the Cowboys somehow, some way. They need to get back in the winner's seat. And the Titans won somehow, and they're going to go back in the L column. So give me the Commanders on Sunday. What about Nick? Nick thinks the Commanders as well. This is looking scarier as we go on. Then you've got the Steelers versus the Bengals, an AFC North showdown that I think the Bengals are going to win. Even though the record shows they are 4-7, they could be playing a lot better, but they aren't. The Steelers are 8-3, and they are playing like 8-3. They're playing like they want to win the division this year. It's going to be, a head-on-head fight with the Ravens, but I think if we want the Ravens to edge over the Steelers, the Bengals need to get this win. So give me the Bengals versus the Steelers. Nick is going the Steelers. This is the first disagreement that we have, and it took until the almost last game on Sunday to decide that, which is crazy. Then you have the Arizona Cardinals versus the Minnesota Vikings. Now, Vikings are 9-2, playing pretty well. The Cardinals are 6-5. I don't know what the injury report is for the Vikings, but I do know that they did sign Daniel Jones, who got waived by the Giants, which needed to come. So Daniel Jones is just serving as a backup for now, as long as Sam Darnold and he stays healthy. But this should be a good game at 1 o'clock, but I'm still going to go the Minnesota Vikings on this one. Nick thinks the Vikings win as well. Sam Darnold, I think, needs to pick it up a little bit. Justin Jefferson, I think the whole team just needs to. They're winning games, but they need more from the star power. So your 1 o'clock game of the week, if I had to pick, is probably going to be the Chargers versus the Falcons. Should be a great game. Looks like I think everybody's playing this week, which is a lot of games, which is awesome, guys. So then you get the Rams versus the Saints. Now, I did pick the Rams last week. It lost to the Eagles. Saquon Barkley is playing out of his mind, playing for the MVP or Offensive Player of the Year, which either one that he gets. But the Rams are 5-6, and the Saints are 4-7. Saints just aren't looking too well. The Rams still have a chance to win the NFC West, and I think they can still do that. So give me the Rams. Nick also thinks the Rams. So we have only disagreed on one pick so far. Then you've got the Buccaneers playing the Panthers. As I said, the Panthers almost beat the Chiefs last week, somehow, some way. But I think they lose that mojo as they're playing the Bucs, and the Bucs are going to be on top of the NFC South. So I think that they'll win that division, and they need to win this game for sure. So give me the Bucs and give me Baker Mayfield. Nick thinks the Bucs do get this win as well. Probably the same thinking as Panthers almost had a fluke win last week, but they go right back to where they were. Then in our last 4-25 game, 4 o'clock game anyways on Sunday is the Philadelphia Eagles playing the Baltimore Ravens. Best 4 o'clock game that there is this week. The Eagles are 9-2, which I didn't know they were 9-2, but they sure are playing like it. And the Ravens are 8-4. So, just with that being said, this is going to be a great game. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, maybe it's their time to win the Super Bowl, but it's also Saquon Barkley's game to win MVP, or his season win MVP. Oh, man, this is a hard one. The Eagles are playing well. The Ravens are at home. They do give up leads. Man. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Eagles on the road. This is a hard game to pick. This might be the best game of the week. Nick is going with the Eagles as well, as he probably thought this was a hard one as well, just because the Ravens are very good, playing very well right now. But they give up leads, man. They got to stop doing that. They beat themselves when they do that. And they should have a better record if they didn't give up leads. But here they are. So that is your 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, your Thursday, your Friday games. And then we move on to Sunday night at 8:20, which should be a good game as well. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Buffalo Bills. It is going to be snowy. It is going to be windy there. That does favor the Bills. And I think that because of that, they're used to this. They know how to play. The 49ers are 5-6. They may not even make the playoffs this year. Maybe that's the biggest question mark because of Christian McCaffrey being hurt for so long. Give me the Bills at 9-2. Put them above 10 wins. Nick thinks the Bills will win as well, as like you said. It's going to be cold. It's going to be, shivering. But the Bills are used to it. The Bills know how to play in it. And I think that they're going to do just fine. Then Monday at 8:15, our last game of Thanksgiving weekend. Turkey, gobble, gobble. It's the Browns versus the Denver Broncos. Now, the Browns, Jameis Winston, they're only 3-8. But sometimes they play better than 3-8, which is weird. But the Denver Broncos are playing as a 7-5 team because that's what they are. But they're playing really, really well. And I think that the Broncos are going to improve to 8-5. It is at home for them. It'll be a good game. You got to get adjusted to altitude up there. Bo Nix has been playing well. The Broncos team has really come around. It could be a wild card spot, the 7th seed in the AFC playoffs, and I would love to see it. So let's make it happen. Give me the Broncos. Well, would you look at that? Nicholas picked the Broncos as well. As scary as this is, this may be the first time that we picked every game but one. I think there was a week where we picked every game but 2 or 3. So, there was a little bit, difference there. But no, this one is. Only one game is difference, which is the, let me see here. It is the Steelers and the Bengals. That is where we differ, and that's going to be scary. We will see who wins. We will see who comes out on top. We could have the same record, but we shall find out. But Beagle, does he pick everyone the same as us, and we all have that one team where we differ on? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a little bit different. Who comes out on top in this Thanksgiving weekend, we shall find out. But from me to you, to all of you, gobble gobble.